Well, Francis Schaeffer, of course, was just, out of the box, and I think the thing that always comes to my mind as soon as I hear Francis Schaeffer, I think of how shall we then live? That's such a powerful thing, and of course it springs out of this wrestling, if you will, with the typical dichotomy between spirit and physical. This spirit is good, physical is bad, and kind of this compartmentalization. We Westerners are kind of throwbacks to Greco-Roman Western reductionist, linear, compartmentalized, fragmented, systematized, disconnected, parts-oriented kind of thinking. And Francis Schaeffer brought, using his extreme, Western deductive reasoning, he brought this wonderful Eastern holism to the discussion, and appreciated that there is no, compartmentalization between spirit and physical. It's all one, and so that how should we then live addresses that whether in my physical life, whether I eat this or that, or whether I plant this or that, or whether I do this or that, those have moral ramifications. They have spiritual dimensions. So often, we have this notion that well, as long as I got my doctrine down, it doesn't really matter how I live. And that's what he just exposed as articulately and brilliantly, the fallacy of that it is spiritual schizophrenia to have this kind of sacred secular view of life. And and as a result, I've come to realize that just like those of us in the Christian community, for example, when we look at, for example, a radical environmentalist that has no problem aborting babies, but has a big problem with chopping down a tree, we look at that dichotomy and say, I don't get it. You're okay to kill babies, but it's not okay to cut down a tree. We look at that and we can't even get our heads around that inconsistency. Well, the other side looks at us as believers when we go to a Sanctity of Life rally and then stop at McDonald's for a Happy Meal of industrially produced food that with a mechanical life bent. They view that as equally inexplicable and intellectually schizophrenic. And so being willing, I think what Francis Schaeffer did, he was willing to address these difficult dichotomies in the Christian world, and what happens is you find out it's not always just cut and dried, and that's why I've taken this moniker. I'm a Christian libertarian environmentalist capitalist lunatic, because the fact is, if I just say I'm a Christian, then I'm branded as an earth rapist, and if I'm just an environmentalist, well, then I'm a social liberal, okay, and if I'm just a libertarian, then I'm an anarchist, and I don't believe in any order. And if I'm just a capitalist, well then, that's a problem too. If there's no moral dimension to it, and so by taking these kind of opposing stereotypes and just saying this is what I am, I think Francis Schaeffer would like that kind of approach to, don't put me in a box. Let's wrestle through these things. And see what the little pigeonholes actually, where they actually lead to, and then let's appreciate that when you just take this one point, it at the end it becomes pretty squirrely from a reasoning standpoint. So let's be big enough to realize that these easy pigeonholes probably aren't where we want to be.